Hi class, in this video we'll look at how to analyze data in Excel and at the same time how to draw graphs. So what I have here is I've got my experimental data. So the first column shows pressure in PSI and the second column shows temperature in degrees Celsius. So the first thing that we need to do here is to convert the temperature readings in degrees Celsius to Kelvin and your pressure reading, which is in PSI, or to Pascal. So I've given you the conversion ratios. For converting pressure in PSI to Pascal, will multiply by 6095. On the other hand, to convert temperature in degrees Celsius to Kelvin, we add by 273. And then lastly, the specific volume is given as RT divided by P. You don't need to worry about this. We'll cover this a little bit later. So the first thing is how to use our Excel and the functions in Excel to convert, analyze data. So the first thing that we'll do is we need to convert these temperature readings in degrees Celsius to Kelvin. So this column will contain your temperature readings in Kelvin. So this is the first data point. So I'll do a left click in that cell, click on equal sign, and the first data that I want to convert is this 17.825 degrees Celsius. So select that cell, do a left click, so automatically the cell number is picked up, and then press on the addition sign and then simply type 273 and then press enter. So it converts 17.825 degrees Celsius to Kelvin. Now what happens is, when I look at this row looking at temperature of 16.25, I don't have to click on this cell. Inside this cell, equal sign, select that cell. Excel is smart enough to do it all the calculations for you in one step. So just move to the first cell. Now you see that the icon on the mouse is slightly larger, plus sign, which is slightly larger. So just move towards the bottom right corner of that cell. As soon as you see the icon changes, do a left click and then simply drag it down. In the similar manner, to convert pressure in PSI to Pascal, again start with an equal sign, select the cell, the first data point for pressure, and then multiplication is denoted by the asterisk symbol on your keyboard. Pressed on that and then 6095, done, equal sign. Again click on the first cell, left click towards the bottom right corner and then just drag it out. Now specific volume is given as RT divided by pressure. We have to be careful when we use our division function in Excel, so we need to use our brackets quite wisely. So again, equal sign, shift, click on the open bracket. So it's 287, R is 287 times my temperature, which has to be in Kelvin. So for this cell, the temperature reading is in this particular row, in this particular location. Click on that, close the bracket, and division is shown on your keyboard as a /. So press on that and then finally your pressure in Pascal, enter. So now you have got your specific volume. In the similar manner, let's drag it down. So we have got our specific volume. Now what we'll do is we'll look at how to draw graphs. So first thing is, let's click on an empty cell. Now let's move to the top, look for insert, click on insert, and then in recommended charts that are available in Excel, look for XY scatter. Click on this and then use this option, XY scatter, with the smooth lines and markers. So click. So at the moment there is no points appearing, so you don't need to worry about that. So now what happens is, when I move the mouse on top of this, it will say chart area. So how do I get my data point in? So outside, just do a right click on any cell and it will say, okay, it's not over here. You need to be on the chart itself. Select the chart, do a right click. So sometimes it picks on the first right click, but at times it might take 2 right clicks, so don't worry. And then look for the option which says select data. Once this window appears, you don't need to worry about anything, just click on add. You don't need to put anything on the series name. Look at series X values. So your X axis will be your specific volume, your Y axis will be your pressure in Pascal. So click on this icon, this window will appear. Simply go to the first value of your X data, do a left click on it, and then simply while holding on your left click just scroll down till the last data for your x-axis. Once done, leave your left click, move your mouse over here, click on this icon, done. Now same thing on for your y value, click on this icon, look for the face value on your y-axis, selected, still holding on your left click, scroll down to the last value for your y values, done. Again click, don't need to do anything, click OK, and then finally click OK. So now what we have is we have a initial graph drawn in. Because this is not the final one, we will do a little bit of editing over here. So the first thing is move your mouse to the chart title itself, left click, delete, because it's not professional to have chart title as such. Now again do a left click on this grid line, so do a left click, the ends turn blue. Once it does, press on delete, you don't want that. Again on these horizontal grid lines, selected, delete. Now what happens is you need to understand two things. This is your plot area, and if I move my mouse outside it says chart area, so I will be moving between plot and chart area. So be on the plot area, do a right click, click on format plot area. At the moment in borders it says automatic, click on solid line, change the color to black. If it's not black, maybe it might be gray, select black, leave the width of this line as 0.75 and then simply come out. Now you'll see that at the moment the frame that goes around the graph is of two different colors. One is black and the other one is grayish nature. I will edit this as well. So now what you do is just move your mouse on this horizontal axis, do a right click, right, then what you do is click on format axis, and then what happens is at the moment it says axis options. Don't worry about axis options at the moment. Go to fill and line, select that, choose solid line, choose black and leave it as that. So done. Same thing for your y-axis, do a right click, format axis, again click on fill and line, solid line. Okay, naturally it automatically selects black, leave that as 0.75, done. So now you see it is of the same color and thickness. The next thing is you'll see that we don't have any tick marks which indicates exactly where 0.15 is or 0.2 is. So what we do is again select or move your mouse on one of these values, do a right click, format axis. This time around we'll look at your chart options. In chart options, go down, in chart options, scroll down, look at the tick marks, major type, put it to outside. So you see now it's over there. Now same thing, since I have already this chart axis option selected, I can simply select on these y values. So click on one of the y values, automatically the option is selected, put it to outside. Now the next thing is when you notice, you'll see that the pressure is not starting from 0 Pascal, but when I move the mouse over here it starts from 357 kilopascal and goes all the way to almost 621 kilopascal. So I can change the range over here. So this is where this range is. So on your y-axis your minimum is 0 and maximum is 700,000. So I can change this to 350, and this I can change it to 625,000 and press enter. Alright, let me just check this one more time. So let me just check this. Okay, 6. So let's put it to 630. Now on the same, in the same manner I can change the values in the x-axis. So again I can just, while this option is still selected, I can select on your x-axis, click on your x-axis. So minimum is 0, maximum 0.25. I can change it to 0.12 and then this to that, and then what I'll do is my major tick marks leave it as 0.02. If it's not 0.02 you can change it, and that's pretty much it. So now the graph looks a little bit more professional. The next thing is I will add the X and Y axis titles. So what happens is on the chart area, I think you might have to do double left click. Sometimes, yeah, double left click and you'll see that this option appears. So just to show you once more, if I just come out of it, so at the moment the screen will appear like this. If I do a double left click on the chart area, the options change. So add chart elements, click on that. Axis title, primary horizontal. Primary horizontal will be your specific volume, so specific volume, it is in meter cube per kg. So type in M3 per kg. We'll edit it a little bit later. Press enter, so automatically it appears. Now again click on your chart element, this time primary vertical, which will be your pressure, and the unit is in Pascal. Press enter. So now you see you've added your axis title. So now what I'll do is I will edit this axis title. So escape, so click on this, left click on this, go to home, increase the font size to 12, font type to be Times New Roman, and then you can just make sure, and then what you do is select this and make it bold. Done. Same thing over here, select, increase the font size to 14, font type is that, and then again select the text and make it bold. Over here from font size 12 I'll make it to 14, and you'll see that it's meter cube per kg, but it says M3. So what you do is, if you're out of this text, do a left click on this. While clicking on the left click, select 3, do a right click, select font, and then simply select superscript and then click OK. So that's done. Now what happens is, at the moment it looks a little bit small. I'll edit it a little bit later. The next thing is we need to change the font size and font type of these values on your X and Y axis. So click on one of these values, it's selected, put it to 12 and type to Times New Roman. Same thing here, increase the font size to 12 and the font type to Times New Roman. So now it looks more professional. I can increase this plot area by dragging it out, and I can make it a little bit smaller, and I can bring it towards the center. So specific volume, click this, click on your text over here, I can move it slightly outside. Done. The last thing is, if the graph requires you to add a equation, so what I can do is I can add trend line. So what I do is I come inside this area, plot area, move to the data point itself, do a left click, and you'll see it says add trend line. So click on add trend line, and for this the data is given as such that you will use your power option. So select power, and towards the bottom it will say display equation on the chart and display R squared value. So if you want to display, you can select these options over here and then simply close, and then you can move this somewhere over here. So the equation for this curve is given as y is equals to 62570 x to the power of negative 1.142, and your R squared value is 0.9999. So it means that the data set is quite close to the original. So now you know how to analyze data in Excel, at the same time how to draw graphs in Excel. So thank you for watching this video. Thank you very much.